What is up, and welcome back to another video. In the last month, I've made around $30,000 just from one trade on meme coins, and I've just opened two other trades right now that we're going to cover in this video. You're going to learn everything you need to know about how to trench, how to find narratives, and how to find the best coins before other people, so you can use them for extra liquidity instead of getting dumped on yourself. So without further ado, let's get right into this video.
Gentlemen, and maybe gentettes, depending on who's watching this channel. Right here, you can see a $33,000 balance in this wallet. This was literally around $3,000, not more than a month ago. Majority of this came from a trade on Zeus. I'm still holding around 30-ish% of this position because I think it's going to go way higher. The chart looks absolutely insane. If you go back to my other videos, you can see I was calling it even on Instagram at $5 million market cap. There was a whole PvP going on between this Zeus, this one here, and the other Zeus here. Obviously, this is the one I've been most bullish on. This is the one I ended up calling at 5 mil, and I called the other Zeus at 1.8 mil. So like 10x across the board here. I think this goes way higher, and it cracks $100 million market cap. I'm super bullish on this. This is obviously more of a cabal play. We've already gone over what that means, but it basically just means they have a bunch of people that are, pushing the coin and that are essentially supporting it on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter. That is, the current trade that's open, that is staying open. Now, I went in open two more trades here on Axiom. First trade, I am down 1.1K, aped in 5.3K. I'm sold a little bit because the pump fund news was actually a bit fucked up, but I'm going to go over both of these trades and why I bought them. So starting with Allen. So Allen is currently a beta play to the pump fund token being launched. So if you guys haven't heard the news, pump fund raised $1 billion at a $4 billion FDV. Okay. So as a beta play, I want to go and bid Allen, who is one of the founders of pump fund. So if I go over to Twitter, you guys can see Allen. He is one of the founders of pump fund, and he has his own token named Allen. Now, this is basically going to be a beta play, meaning that I think that the pump fund token is going to be a $4 billion coin, right? So $4 billion, a beta play is like 5%, give or take. That would put this at $200 million. The last time this was anywhere near that was, I believe you would have to scroll all the way back into where it basically launched, essentially. So this is when he tweeted about it and pump fund was going crazy, and it went to $250 million. So this is like my price target, essentially, if it does become a beta play. I guess this is a bet. I don't know if it's going to 100%, but I'm placing my bet that it will be. And I have a decently sized position open here, holding 3K left. Now, I also went and bid Avo, and I actually didn't call this coin. Someone else in our Discord ended up calling this coin, one of the analysts here. But it's a really good narrative. So Avo gives me very, very similar vibes to Botify. So Botify was a coin that we called long before it went to $100 million. It was essentially a marketplace for AI agents. You could create them and then also sell them. And so Avo is a marketplace for trading agents. It's pretty cool. The app looks like good. The website's good. The founders look like pretty stacked. The website's already up and running. This was actually a fair launch from what I understand. So the team accidentally launched a token and then basically had to just continue with it. They've only spent $1,000 on marketing. Again, the token looks like pretty strong. I love buying coins on like 70% retracements. So for me, this is like a good slam. I do want to pick up more. I only have 1K in here. I want to go pick up more. I think this is like a pretty good bet. They just literally launched like, how many days ago? What is this? 5-6 days ago from here. And then it went to like a $6 million market cap. So for me, I think that crosses all-time highs. There was another coin that has been running really well. I think it's Cled AI. Obviously, like not the same thing, but this just shows like a lot of utility coins have been running extremely hard. So I'm assuming that this is going to pull something pretty similar here, assuming the narrative's good and the tech is good, which I honestly think it is. Again, the founders and the team look pretty stacked. This is one of the CEOs. Pretty decent following. Again, they've spent like literally zero money on marketing. It just launched. Their roadmap's not even out. Like they're kind of just putting all the pieces together. Once they turn on marketing, I think it's going to be pretty good. I know Pasternak and Believe also have been supporting the token publicly, like right here. So that's also good because it just brings more awareness to builders on their platform. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good one. Full thesis was posted in the Discord here. So if I go into Pure Degen here, and we'll cover another coin. So Avo, this is what WNM said he's taking a swing here. Docs Dev, good tech. Like we said, fair launch, good roadmaps coming soon. Tolly, also one of the founders of Solana, I believe, has been interacting with things like CLED that have been running, and it's good tech. So he's obviously bidding it here. It has a stop loss at negative 40%. So that's essentially what I'm following here. I went and did my own research, of course, because you can't take everything at face value. But I actually agree with everything that he's been saying here. And I believe that this is like a really good bid. They also have provided like a lot of liquidity, which is actually like fairly important in smaller tokens like this. Like even if you go over here and you type in Avo, we can see that there actually is like a good amount, like 355K of liquidity on a $2 million coin is actually like really good, especially if you go compare something to like a coin on like Abstract. Like let's say we go and look at like something like Newt, like there's only like 400K in liquidity here, but the market cap's basically like 7x as high. So that just shows like it's good liquidity, so you can actually like sell out your tokens without totally like dumping the coin. That's really good. Those are the two plays that I'm open in. Another play that was actually posted in here that I want to cover was Sydney's Bathwater Bliss. So this was a very interesting one because it was called, if you guys can see here, at 274K market cap. So it's basically on a 4x in the past 8 days. Now this was one of those things where it's a narrative play, so it's going viral on social media. So this was basically going viral everywhere on TikTok. And so that was, when it was called before, somewhere over here. And then obviously it started to go viral, I believe, because she's selling the bath soaps now, I believe. And again, just over time, the word spreads, narratives catch, it's going viral on TikTok. So that's why this has been going absolutely insane. So that's like an easy way to find narratives. You have to go on TikTok. You have to scan. The TikTok brainwash strategy allows you to literally pick up your phone and start scrolling through TikTok, see what's going insane, and then go see if there's another coin. And so this was actually the exact same way that we found another play just a couple of days ago here from Woo, which was also a narrative-based play. And he actually called it 50x on Extractor E91. Now this coin's obviously going to be at zero now because a lot of these coins are, you need to make your money get in and out. But what's insane is that he actually called this coin. So we called it down at a 24K market cap, okay? So essentially fucking right here, which is literally like right at launch. He basically called it over here and it ended up doing like over a 50x over here. And so the reason that this went so insane is because it was basically running onto the premise that like Pump Fund, when they launched a token, was going to be like extracting money from the trenches. And so that was like the entire narrative. And then there was a whole bunch of FUD about the Pump Fund token launch, that they're raising $1 billion, that they're launching at a $4 billion FDV, which allowed, which made the FUD essentially push this coin to all new heights because everyone was on the same meta that, Pump Fund was going to be extracting money from the trenches. And so this ended up running to like $2 million, and that was like a 50x. So the Bathwater were both narrative-based play. Obviously Zeus is a narrative-based play also, but it's a beta play too. In this case, Alan would be a similar beta play to Pump Fund. And then this would be more of a utility play, Avo / tech play on the utility of this coin, because I do think this gives early Botify vibes, just like given the team and everything like that. So those are the main trades that I have open. And you got to keep in mind, guys, that 99% of the money you make is going to be coming from a lower amount of trades. So basically, if I open 10 trades over, 2 months, 90% of my money, 80% of my money is probably going to be coming from 2 to 3 of those trades. And then realistically, the other trades are going to either like chop slightly down and maybe like lose me a K or 2K or 3K, and then some will like chop up and make me 1, 2, 3K, and then you get like one trade that probably makes you like 10 to 15K, and that's usually what it's been for me. That's what it ended up being for Zeus, making 30 plus K on that trade. That's what it ended up being in the past too. It's just kind of always how it ends up working, is that you find most of your money from a few plays, and then a lot of the other plays just trend sideways and chop. So that's why I try and find these plays early, and I could definitely see this being like a $10 million plus coin. So I'm pretty interested to ape like a bit of a bigger bag in here. Maybe if it comes down here, I would buy it again. But yeah, overall, I like this. I think the tech is good. And then Alan, there's nothing to do until the Pump Fund token comes out, which should be in a couple of weeks here. Same with Zeus. There's nothing else to do on the Zeus trade because I just want to see that more momentum continues to get caught in this trade. And yeah, I think this is going to $100 million. Now, I don't open a ton of trades just because I want to focus on higher conviction bets. I want to make sure that I'm getting it early. I want to wait for my thesis to play out. And so This is also why I'm still holding Apster at $17.8 million. I think anything at 15 mil is like an easy bid. And this is why I'm still holding Zeus. This is why I'm still holding Newt. And then I'm still holding Apster as well, like I just said. So anything here, 10 mil, I would love to slam this again. And you also have to understand that when the abstract airdrop comes out, like that's not been factored into this either. It's pretty much impossible to factor in a multi-$100 million airdrop coming on chain. So that's not factored in, and that's going to make a shitload of money as well. I'm just trying to think if there's any other plays that I would want to go over here, but I think that's pretty much it for updates right now in the 2 trades that I have now opened. Obviously, we're posting trades all the time in here. This is already moving, it seems a little bit, which is great. And we can see we just had a 50x. This ended up being a 4x. So as long as you're in the trenches, you can kind of grab a lot of plays. And as long as you understand what narratives are going on, then it's like pretty easy to make money. I would not be surprised for this to end up being like a 10-20k market or 10-20 mil market cap if the tech ends up being really good based on the price action of something like Botify. And I think that this, if they figure out the marketing, this would be a pretty solid one. So anyways, that's going to wrap up the video for today, and I will keep you guys updated with what trades we open next. If you want to trade with us live, then just click the first link down below. And if you have $25,000 or more in your portfolio and you want to trade with our Inner Circle one-on-one, then just make sure to fill out the application down below, and we'll be sure to take care of you there. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and make sure to follow me on Instagram, where I'm posting all of these updates live and in real time. Cheers.